Welcome into the Toyota Winners Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. This is the DNVR Avalanche podcast, as the Avs take a 3-1 series lead over the Winnipeg Jets in what was, I think in our opinion, probably the best game of the series by the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really controlled the majority of this hockey game, top to bottom. Got some great performances as well.
Yep.
Let's kick it off with a 60-second rundown.
They whoop that ass.
Really, honestly, that's all you need to say right there. First 10 minutes of the game, the Avs, I think, outshot Winnipeg 12-2. I mean, they really came out and took it to them. They get rewarded with one goal. Great pass from Middlestat to Lehkonen on that one. Later in the first, the Jets would get that goal back off a Nate Schmidt play that was officially ruled onside. So I guess it's onside.
Whatever.
And honestly, the Avs would then go into the second period and just own Winnipeg in every facet of the game. There's not really a whole lot else to say. They went in, they were better, they owned. Val Nichushkin gets one, Cale Makar gets one, Val Nichushkin gets another, and the last goal of the game would be a Val Nichushkin empty net to wrap up the Hattie. For him, the Avs win 5-1, easy street, baby. All right. We were talking about it before we went live here, so I want to start with kind of the unsung hero of this game.
Who should get the next shirt? Let's survey the people.
I was like, what our next shirt should be?
Who should get the next shirt?
I'm in.
What do you guys think? Well, we got a bunch of people in here just out of curiosity.
Middlestat, Lehkonen.
Yeah, we're talking Middlestat and Lecky.
What do you think, chat?
Yeah, we Tiff, can you show give us a link for drop it in chat for the Nichushkin shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you.
P.S. For all the people asking, we restocked the Nuke shirt. Go
exactly. The Nichushkin shirt is back in stock, so you guys could sell it out again or buy it out again.
Go get it.
Bam.
While it's hot.
Bunch of people have asked us throughout the course of the season for it, so it's in there.
I had a lot of mitts. A lot of mitts I see in there.
A lot of Middlestat.
Yeah.
My goodness.
He's awesome.
All right. All right. Unsung heroes. We can go. We can move on. Sorry.
We just happened to be talking about it before we went live. Not going to get the accolades. Not going to get on the score sheet tonight, really. But Sean Walker, all over the ice, making all sorts of plays tonight. And this goes beyond Walker, but having a decor that any guy on that decor, you can get a game out of that from him on any given night is what makes the Avs so dangerous back there, right?
Yeah, so last game at Sam Girard.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're talking, okay, this isn't Cale Makar, who's capable of completely taking over a game, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And it's not Devon Taves, who's just going to absolutely swallow all of your neutral zone attack and just spit it back out the other way into scoring chances for the Avalanche. It's not those guys who are paid wonderfully and among the very best in the league at what they do.
Yep.
No, when you get down into the lineup, you have Josh Manson, who will eat your heart out if you catch him on a bad day. The whiskey drinker, if you will.
Yes.
But Sam Girard last game, excellent puck moving, excellent skating, excellent attacking up the ice. Key in a game that was a lot tighter through two periods. Today, Girard, not as effective.
Yep.
Enter Sean Walker, who is just dynamite. For my money, his best game is an Av. Don't give me the 2-goal game at Edmonton. Go away.
Certainly his legs were his best game tonight.
You're talking about a playoff game where against a team that their success, it has to come off of forechecking and causing problems. He do not play well enough in transition, especially in this series, against a team that prevents transition. And to have a guy like Sean Walker just getting pucks out.
Makes life easy.
Sorry, audio listeners, headphone people, I should have warned you, but I didn't know I was going to do that either. So for Walker to get pucks up the ice the way that he did and on different pairings in different situations, I wanted to see what would happen with Sean Walker's game when Sam Girard got back. and they could use him a little more strategically versus all the time. And through 2 games, you have great returns. And the second game, this game in particular, yowza. So I love that we're starting off with the unsung hero because there are a lot of stars to pick from in the 3 stars category of this show.
But he was awesome, Walker. But what I liked is, again, Sam coming back last game. It just stabilizes everything, puts everyone in the right spot. And you don't have to be looking anywhere. Like, just watch hockey at night, like last night. Toronto Maple Leafs are in one, right? They're in a tough one. But look at their back end. They don't make plays. They don't. That's
nothing going on.
It's hard to be mad at everyone, and everybody's pissed at like Marner and everyone. And I'm not debating that. I'm not here to do that. We're here to talk about the Avs. I'm saying, but the luxury that the Avs have to have guys that can move pucks.
Yep.
It is an art in this league. It is so essential. It's not by accident that the Avs lead the NHL with points on the back end. I mean, even Jack makes good first pass, you know. Even Jack does, you know what I mean? So, and I'm not putting Jack down. I'm saying, but he's the lowest guy on the totem. I mean, he's the lower guy, right, on the totem pole of the Avs Ds. But, yeah, you're right. Walker was awesome tonight. It just stabilizes everything with Sammy back there. And then now you're just kind of... They control the game.
Yeah.
If they don't get pinned in their own end because they're quick outs, they're smart outs, and they just go play the game.
Well, and when we, the Avs defense is too soft. It's okay. Well, they're built. The Jets are built to be heavy, and they're built to attack you with physicality and a forecheck. That's what they do.
Yep.
It's why they're in the position they're in. It's why they got the 2 seed in the Central Division. It's why they're here. So the Avs, this should be a problem for the Avalanche, right? Oh, they're too soft. They can't do this. They can't do that. Well, typically when you build big, you sacrifice skill. And we're seeing which one of them is winning in this series because the Avs built big enough is the question. Did they build big enough?
So
and when
far,
you look at the defense, it's fair to say the defense, as those 6 guys, might be a little undersized and might be at a disadvantage in some series.
Sure.
Okay? But defense is not solely the 2 defensemen. There are 5 players on the ice.
Yeah.
The majority of them are not defensemen. You have to play good team defense, and when you look at how the Colorado Avalanche built through their lineup, all 4 layers of that lineup, there is, if not a big guy, a physical guy, an Arturi Lehkonen.
Yep.
Val Nichushkin's not an overly physical player, but he's gigantic, he's fast, and he has a relentless motor of hunting.
Gotta reach.
And when you get into a guy like Sean Walker, what they can do defensively, what the Avalanche can do defensively to you, they take all that puck skill, all that good skating, all the Jets get pushed to the outside, and then we're just going to hope something happens
They
here.
settle for garbage.
They settle for garbage, and hope becomes the plan.
Yep.
And when hope becomes the plan, more often than not, you lose. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, it is a losing formula.
Yep.
And you see a guy like Sean Walker step up today, great. You needed that. You're not going to have all 6 guys humming and drumming on the same game. That's just not how it works.
Yep.
So it's Sam Girard last game,
Sean Walker
today.
Yep.
Could be Josh Manson in 2 days in Game 5.
Yeah.
You have no idea which guy it's going to be. Meanwhile, you pay a top pairing to just be a top pairing every day. That's how this works.
Yep.
And it's incredibly critical in the postseason that it goes like this. That you get these contributions that, one game it's this guy, one game it's that guy. Because if you don't, see the Winnipeg Jets. If you don't, there are too many avenues of failure.
Oh, it's not Mark Scheifele, it's nobody.
And the Jets are walking down all of them.
Yep. I loved your point about it being team defense and it being physicality, because the next guy I want to talk about is Nikolai Kovalenko. Didn't play a ton. I'm not going to say he was a world beater or anything.
Just good check.
But 2 things that stood out to me. One, Nikolai Kovalenko's first shit, a guy lines him up, tries to run him. Whatever happens there. He gets up, very next play, he chases a guy down, puts a forecheck, finishes his check on a guy hard at the other end of the ice. And then, I don't know how the play plays out, but makes a very solid defensive play in the slot, gets his stick in on a guy, and helps the Avs defensively as a guy. At that point, he had 4 minutes of NHL ice time in his life. and he's able to make a quality defensive play like that.
But I think the
Two great
coaches
ones in this game.
to what?
Great defensive plays.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. As a coach, no, exactly what you're saying. As a coaching staff, they're going to rewatch the game,
Yep.
and they're going to be like, "Wow, we can trust this guy."
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not always about scoring goals. They didn't need this guy to come in and score goals tonight. No, they needed to come in, do his job. Now, I'm going to compare him a little bit to Walker. One's a forward, one's a D. But both of those guys is, you're not taking my lunch money. They got
Yeah.
FU in their game.
Yeah.
And that on those defensive plays there, he's winning that stick battle there in front of his net, and the lunch should be in the puck. Like, you're not taking my lunch. You're not. And Walker plays that way. And then Kovalenko's got some FU in his game, just like Walker. There's a lot of similarities. They're not the biggest guys, but they play heavy and they play hard and they play tough. You want to win in the playoffs, you got to do that. So I thought it was awesome for the guy to just jump in like that. No experience. Not like he's been around like for, training camps and stuff. The guy's been in
played like
Russia,
2 weeks
you
of
know what I
Eagles
mean?
games.
I mean, it's not like he's been around for years. Yes,
Yeah.
he's not 19 years old, and he's played some pro hockey, and you can tell his game's more mature than a 19-year-old kid that comes
Still
in.
an adjustment to go to North
But
America.
it is a huge adjustment to lace him up and say, hey, you're going to play in the NHL there. This is the playoffs. Pretty awesome. He answered the test. He answered the bell like really nicely. So hats off to him. He was awesome.
Just the second really good stick check defensively that he made is on Kyle Connor in front of the net.
Yep.
That's their best goal scorer. Mm-hmm. And when we talked to Bob Hartley,
Yep.
when I asked him, I said, all right, what's the biggest concern? What's the part of his game that has to develop? And he said, it's the two-way game. He has to take care of his own end. He's got to be able to do it defensively. And what you saw in this game, offensively, he looked lost. There were a couple of times he had
Very clearly didn't understand the system.
he had a bad change where he was out there too long, and he ended up running into a teammate who was like, why are you here? And then he got off the ice and didn't play the rest of the first period.
Yep.
There's growing pains there, but when you see him make two rock solid, very important defensive zone plays, you see the machinations here of this is an NHL player that's just trying to figure it out as they go.
Yep.
And we would all admit we're more excited long term about Kovalenko than Yoel Kiviranta.
For sure.
But also we would all admit Yoel Kiviranta's been
great.
fantastic
He's
in
been
this
great.
series.
Been great.
For whatever reason that kept him out, I'm just going to assume illness. I don't know that.
Worse. I mean,
It just seems like
has to be. He
it
was
just
there
seems
yesterday.
like a never-ending bug that popping
Yeah.
around the Avs room for the
Yep.
last 3 months. Having that ability to just drop him in there. Kiviranta plays in Game 5.
Sure. All good.
You've got Kovy there.
Yep.
It's a good problem.
He'll be back in the lineup at some point.
And it's and it's depth. I always try to remind people. Remember, the team that won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago scratched Andre Burakovsky, Alex Newhook. It had Nicholas Aube-Kubel as a game one, round
was
one
in the lineup,
starter.
Did not
and-
finish
and
the series.
removed.
Yeah.
And was a depth guy down the line.
Yep.
You need those guys. And I thought, given you're talking about throwing a guy into the soup. Stanley Cup playoffs like this, it's Game 4 of a series.
Nikolai Kovalenko woke up today thinking he was going to play an Eagles game this evening.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. So for him to start and to just, it's solid. It's
Yep.
not overwhelming. It's
Yep.
not incredible. That line didn't play very well. It's worst game of the series as a line. Kovalenko was fine. It was fine.
yep.
I don't care. You make mistakes. You got dog in you. He's got dog in him. You know what I mean? Like and that's what we saw tonight. When you have that, coaches will trust you more and more and more. Once they see you, once they know you can be reliable like he was tonight. Yeah, sure, he was lost like that shift we're talking about, but it's normal, very normal. But nothing happened, which is a good thing. I don't think this is the last of him that we see. So then we'll see him again.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
we will be seeing more of him.
Well, certainly if the Avalanche are managed to close this series
Oh no, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and get into a second round,
Yeah.
the chances
We're-
of seeing Kovalenko again are pretty
Are
high.
extremely high.
Yeah,
at
and I'm
that
not
point, I
putting
would
the
say.
horse in front of the cart. I'm saying, like, I do believe the Avs are going to have a long spring, so I do believe that this guy's going to be back in.
Yep. All right. one more guy to talk about here, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this guy tonight because there's not a whole lot to talk about. Alexander Georgiev gives up 1 goal on 24 shots. Good job.
The guy in chat that says you should all admit that you were more excited to like bag on him or whatever he said to tear him down.
Nope.
First of all, no. That is a fundamental misunderstanding of what we do here.
Objectively, we've gone on this show multiple times saying we want him to play well.
Exactly. There is never an excitement to talk about somebody being bad. There's never like a glee in it. We were just done. He gave up 7 goals on 23 shots.
Yep.
Okay? That is not what we're here to do. It's not what we do. It's not like we'll be honest and we'll be raw and he's made us look dumb.
Totally.
But that's on us to wear. There's no glee in that.
No.
We want them to be good.
We get to sit here and happily say Georgiev has
Done his
improved
job.
as the series has gone on.
He has done his job, and he has outplayed Connor Hellebuck, and that is why you are up 3-1 right now.
Exactly.
We don't need to get into it beyond that. He played
That's
well.
all there is to say.
He played well. The defense was fantastic today.
Yep, no doubt about it.
And all we talked about was we stated a fact that the first game, Avs played an unbelievable game 1 on the road. They lost 7-6. It's a fact that goaltending was bad. That's it. That's all we talked about. And it was a fact that the last 2 weeks down the stretch, goaltending gave out. It did. And that's why they lost home ice. I don't care what people say. Like, it's a team game. Yeah, it is a team game. And that's all we talked about.
Doesn't matter anymore.
And when you play a 4 out of 7 and you have 1, 2, 3 in a row bad goaltending performance, you are toasted. Your series is over.
A la the Jets.
All the Jets. Hellebuck has not been good. And that's a fact, and that's why they're in trouble. But the Avalanche has been the better team. We don't want, and again, you know what? I was one of those athletes. You don't wish bad on anyone. You just wish that if you're struggling with your game, the goaltending position is a tough one. If you're struggling with your game, somebody else needs to go in there because it's not fair, because it's too thin of a line to win in this league. And if you're not up to snuff, you won't win. But right now, the best thing that ever happened to Alexander Georgiev in my book was Justus Annunen being sick. It's Justus being sick because he would have got the yank in game 1 and they would have found a way to game, and then you wouldn't see. So it might have saved his career as an Avalanche. We'll never know. They'll say everything they need to say that we're behind Georgie, and we all are behind Georgie. We say it every day. We want him to be good. He needs to be good. I didn't say great. Needs to be good. But you just can't be bad. And you know what? He's been perfect. He's been perfect the last 4 games. Right? Last 3 games, I'm sorry.
Everything that he's needed to do, he has done.
That's it. Just do your job. We're all good. We don't wish harm on anyone.
2 or less, the Avs should win. He gives up 1 tonight.
And for me, you want to talk about me being excited about something? The idea that we could have just in real time witnessed an all-time sliding doors moment in Avalanche history.
No kidding.
Of Georgiev, Justus Annunen not being available. Changes that Georgiev has to wear game 1. He's embarrassed by it. And he gets the start because Annunen's not healthy enough in game 2. Yeah. And he's been fantastic since then. Perfect. He's done everything that you want.
No doubt about it.
That's that. There's nothing else to say, but the guy has done his job.
Yep.
That's all we're out here to do.
You don't
we want them to do their
words.
jobs.
You don't eat your words when you state the fact that the guy had a tough night. The guy had a tough night. It's a fact. So it's not eating your words. He had a tough night. The last 3 games, he's been great. Awesome.
Keep it up.
That's it.
Keep it up. They'll win more games.
That's it.
Tell you what, if he finishes, I didn't care about him finishing the regular season in wins, but if he finishes the
postseason with the
postseason in wins,
I got no problem with that.
It's an all-time great redemption story.
No kidding.
All-time great.
No kidding. All right. On that note, let's all take a chill pill. Go grab your Coors Lights, relax, pop open a Blue Mountain beer, and chill. All right. Coors Light is the beer I reach for when I chill, and I don't even have to go get it. I can get it delivered right to my front door with CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Instacart will ship it your way, and it's easy to have right on your couch, right when you're watching the Avalanche. You know what? Playoff hockey games are stressful. I ain't going to lie to you. It's tough out here. It's tough out here watching playoff hockey games on the heart.
It is.
But you get to intermission, you breathe, you take a minute, you have a Coors Light. It's that easy. Make sure you're getting your Coors Lights. You can find them in your local liquor store if you don't want to get them delivered, but do go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR to get them to your front door. Of course, when you do have a Coors Light, please party responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Coors Brewing right here in Golden, Colorado. Also brought to you by the Playoff Plunge Gang over at Circa Resorts and Casinos. If you're heading out to Vegas, make sure you book your stay with Circa. And when you do, use the DNVR 20 code at circasports.com to get 20% off your stay. You can plunge right into Stadium Swim. You can watch the NHL playoffs in the luxury of a gigantic pool with a gigantic television. Look at that picture right there. I mean, come on. That television is actually ridiculous.
Love it.
90 feet, apparently. So go check it out with Circa. They have more than just that, too. They have a over 7,000 square foot casino. They have a 3-level sports book with giant televisions. Great way to catch any sporting events, whether it be the playoffs or, even if you're going to the NHL draft in Vegas this year. Circa is the place to stay. Again, use that DNVR code to get 20% off your stay with Circa Sports today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast here. We're going to get into our 3 stars in a second, but before we do, let's do these winner shots. How about it? Another Dr. Dubs prescribed vitamin W right here. Thank you very much for the 200 likes, chat. We do appreciate that a ton from you. All right, 3 stars. What do we got? All right, holding on 1 second as we bring up our 3 stars graphic.
Nice weather today.
It was really nice. After like 2 pretty icky days,
Yeah,
it was really nice.
Was yucky.
Colorado bounce back.
I tell you. All right, number 3.
Speaking of a redemption story.
3 goals for the 3rd star, Val Nichushkin hat trick, and exactly that.
Yeah.
That guy who I think pretty clearly let his hockey team down last year in round 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into the details, but
Mostly because nobody knows them.
now tied for the lead in playoff goals across the league after these 3 tonight.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
Well, if you look at the first game, I'm not going to compare their big man to the Avs big man, but
Who's theirs?
well, Lowry. I'm just saying, like Lowry, their bigger guy. I'm not comparing
you
the
mean
2 stars.
you mean physically big?
Physically big, the 2
Sorry.
guy. He makes
I
the
understand.
2 big. He makes 2 big plays,
Yeah.
right? And then, probably has the better of any Avs for it. Actually, you know what I mean. Even though some good players, but Val's been better. Val's been good. That is a vintage Val goal today. Makar shoots the puck, he tips it. You could redo that tip 150,000 times. It
Yeah.
won't happen again that way. The way it comes in is right there on the edge. Val's been the master of tipping pucks. He is such a monster in front of a monster goalie, right? We said take Hellebuck's eyes away. Right there, little things, little details. Details are important. They're massive in playoffs. Val was on it tonight, and I felt he was a little bit lost in the first in the sense that because Mac and Mikko were, I don't know, there wasn't much
First
going on.
line
I
was
was like,
not doing
man,
a
you're
ton.
wasting Val's game a little bit. Then,
Yep.
Obviously that power play woke him up a little bit, and he was awesome after. So
And this is, I know we've already gotten these comments. I was waiting for them. Val 3rd star with the hat trick. First of all, the 3rd goal is an empty net goal of
Yeah.
a 4-1 game. It was decided. Cool, accomplishment.
Happy for the guy.
Yeah. The other goal is a 4-1 goal that he slams into an empty net.
Yep.
Who makes the play to get there? It's Arturi Lehkonen.
Lehkonen.
And the tip, no bones.
Great tip.
It's a great goal that they needed. But in terms of
Before you judge,
wire-to-wire impact
Yeah.
of the game, I think the other 2 guys that we have 1st and 2nd star were better.
here are other stars before you judge. Let me just tell you that.
It's not going to matter.
I know.
Oh, man, hat trick. You got to be 1st star.
I know.
I'm going to disagree.
I know. Our 2nd star is Arturi Lehkonen himself. He rules is an accurate sentiment towards this guy right now.
I thought he was, again, their best forward on the ice in this game.
I would agree.
I thought he was 2nd best last game behind Casey,
And
the
it's-
monster Middlestat, but
It's not just has a great goal off a pass from Middlestat, no less.
Yeah.
Has that nice assist to Val. He also consistently makes quality defensive plays. You see the sliding play to break up what was turning into a dangerous shift for Winnipeg in the Avs zone. It's just, it feels so consistent every step of the ice.
and it's not just consistent in that it's 200 feet or that it's every game. but it's first, second, and third period.
Yep.
There's no real change in the
Shift
game.
to shift, yep.
It is because you're looking when you're talking about Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, a lot of frustration each of the last two games.
Because it's a little bit of this.
Yeah, exactly. When it's not great, you're looking at it going, oh my. I mean, I wanted to. What little I have left of my hair, I was trying to tear out watching the Nate Schmidt goal because I'm watching Nathan McKinnon just do nothing defensively. He's on the ice. He sees it. He covers nothing. And you're not looking at Artturi Lehkonen having those same frustrations. He's everywhere.
Yep.
He is all over the ice. He's making a huge difference consistently throughout the game. He has been such a high impact player. Now, it is a phenomenal play by Casey Middlestad to get him that puck.
Unreal pass. Unreal.
But that's a great finish for one. Yeah. It's a great finish, and then the little play that he makes to get the puck over to Nichushkin.
It's sick. It's sick.
He's getting mugged. He's getting mugged. And he's like, let me go ahead and blindly put this behind me to an Av.
Ambulance, but not for me.
Exactly. It's such a great play, and it's the totality of his body of work there. All of it, I thought it's a little higher than Nichushkin. You need them both to win this game.
Yep.
But wire to wire, I loved Artturi Lehkonen's game. It is picture perfect for the postseason. I did not mean for that to much alliteration to take place.
Here's what I'll add about Lehkonen. And listen, so you don't put words into my mouth. Cale Makar is an awesome player. McKinnon's an awesome player. That's not what I'm saying. Of the 40 guys dressed tonight for both teams, to your standard, to the top of your capabilities, no one was better than Artturi Lehkonen. No one. No, you're going to say Makar. No, Makar's on a different planet. That's why he's first star, right? So it's fine. What I'm saying...
Jesus, spoiler, man.
Sorry.
Come on.
Who could have seen this coming?
I know. I'm sorry, but I'm saying, but Lehkonen, there was no one. Up to your standard. No one dressed for this NHL game tonight met to the top, to the ceiling of what you can be, of details, of knowing your assignments, of being disciplined with your game and everything. There was no one better of the 40 guys with a jersey tonight. Annunen maybe because he was sitting on the bench, but it was not close. He was to the best of his capabilities. Lehkonen was number one of the 40 jerseys on the ice.
Laurent Brossoit had a shutout.
True, he didn't give up a goal.
Well, besides him.
And
that's
sorry
the
for the
difference,
spoiler.
though, right? Like, that's the... I mean, obviously, we're just giving you shit, but that's the difference between a guy like Artturi Lehkonen. When he maxes out, he's really, really good. But then you got this other guy.
That's wrong. I mean,
Before we went live, I was saying, everybody talks about, oh, you need good depth, and you need this guy, and you need that guy. And yeah, you need Val Nichushkin and Artturi Lehkonen to play better.
Yep.
Like, you need them to play well. Sorry, not play better. That's asking a lot. You need them to play really well. You need them to be impact guys for you. You pay them to be impact guys for you. You give them impact guy minutes. As Eric always says, they get the good ice.
They sure do.
But what do they do with that? It's great. But sometimes, just sometimes in the NHL,
Sometimes?
you just need a gosh dang superstar to do some superstar level stuff. Stuff that there are 10 guys on the planet where you're like, yeah, those guys,
That's too many.
those guys might be able to make that play. But then you watch Cale Makar in a 2-1 game, and you're still in a rock fight at that point.
This game is crying out for a superstar.
You have taken over the game. You've taken the lead.
and Rudo called it right on the spot, too.
You're talking about this. You're in a rock fight.
Yep.
And
then this big ass boulder gets rolling downhill, jukes 3 guys on the ice, and then beats the best goaltender on the planet with such a picture perfect shot. I think I said it 4 times in rapid succession on the watch along. Watch Connor Hellebuck's body language after that goal.
Yep.
Helpless. It is helpless. He just looks down. He looks beaten. He looks defeated because there's nothing he can do about a play of that caliber.
Dude's just too good.
He's just pissed.
He smokes all the guys in front of him, and he has to be the last line of defense on a world-class shot. And you're just like, What the hell is that, man? And that's why, for me, that's why I had Cale Makar as the first star, because that 3-1 goal might have de facto ended the series.
It might have.
When it was 2-1 and Hellebuck made a huge save, I looked at you and I said, that might be a series-saving save if this game goes a certain way.
That's right.
Cale Makar makes a singular one-man army play down the ice. Gets down there, takes the roof off of the building, makes it 3-1. The Avs kick it into cruise control, end up winning going away 5-1 with a 3-1 series lead going back into the Jets barn, knowing they just pulled who will be the Vezina winner this year. They just pulled him at the start of the third period as a mercy pulling. It's series altering.
It's crazy.
One-man effort.
It's crazy.
But that's why I say, that's why I was using Lecky, taps at his ceiling.
He maxes out.
He maxes out. Cale Makar,
out.
There's no ceiling. I'm not trying to be stupid. There is none. I'm not trying to be stupid here. Like, is it the moon? Is it the star? Like, there is no ceiling. Like, this guy will do something even more spectacular, like next year, 2 years from now, and then you'll be like, what the hell? Like, it's wrong. Like, he's that good. And then now he's the single most playoff goals. I don't think he can grow a beard, and he's, you know what I mean? Like, he's got the most in the history. This
Definitely
franchise has a history.
Yep.
This franchise is a big history. This guy's number one. He's just starting. Like, it's nuts. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous what this guy can do.
It's honestly why when you see stats about him, they're put into a historical context.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bobby Orrs and Brian Leaches of the world,
But
not Avalanche history.
Yep.
He's the best defenseman in Avalanche
Yes.
history.
Already.
Yeah,
By a lot.
He's
Like-
the best defenseman in franchise history.
100%.
It is not close.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were Rob Blake and Ray Bourque played
No.
for the franchise, but they were at different points in their careers,
Yeah.
Yep.
especially Bourque.
Yep.
Cale Makar is the best, Avalanche defenseman.
Like, draft pick and,
like guy that's going to be here a long time. It's why he already owns all the freaking records.
Sick.
He's got goals, assists, points. He's got all the playoff shit. He's now tied with Sanderson Lynch for goals. He'll break that maybe next game.
When
The
he's
guy's a
done, the
monster.
Avs record books are going to be Gretzky-esque with how far ahead
Exactly.
they are.
It's just going to be
touchable.
Cale
Yeah.
Makar.
Yep.
The 5 best seasons in Avalanche
Cale Makar.
history.
It's going to be,
Cale Makar.
yeah, you're
The
right.
5 best seasons in Avalanche history
Already.
for a regular season and points per game are already Cale Makar's.
Yeah.
Yep, it's ridiculous.
How much longer does this guy have? If he has 10 more years to go of this, it could just be 15 Cale Makars.
I want to circle back on the play he makes specifically, because how many guys play in the NHL every year? 700, 800?
7 something.
With the 32nd team, it's going to be probably pushing 800.
780 of those dudes turn the puck over on the first guy that Cale Makar torches on this
100%.
play.
Which is Adam Lowry, by the
Yeah.
way. Their stopper. That's their Mr. Fix-It. And their Mr. Fix-It,
Makar just says, "Nah, I'm good."
he would have fixed it against almost anybody else.
Yeah, not fair enough.
Listen, I always said that, like, Ozo, because I played against those. I played with them, but Ozo Lynch, I don't want to be gross here, but you're almost shitting yourself that, oh my God, he's going to beat me. And then I played with Brian Leach, and same thing against him. You're like, oh God. Because you're like, oh my, it's your job as a winger with this guy.
And you're like, oh
Cale
no.
Makar?
Oh no.
Cale Makar? I'm convinced now, after watching him a few years now, day in and day out, I'm not moving. I'm not even going towards him. I am retrieving back
could
to the
come
side.
to
And I'm
me.
like, you come to me, buddy. I ain't going at you. Because you're going to make me look bad.
And if he
then
gets
you're
inside
gonna give me
you-
some leakage, and then you're going to be like, oh, God, it's not good. It's going to be a mess.
If he gets inside your
No
reach,
way. No way.
he's going to dance you.
There's no
So
chance.
those guys retreat from him, and they try and, with the stick, You're not Devon Taves.
Yep.
If you're Devon Taves, you can get away with it. If you're not, he's going to make you look bad.
If you lose the puck, if he loses the puck, okay, that's bad luck, But if he's not losing the puck, he's beating you. There's no way if you make a move at him. So that's what I'm trying to say. Coaches can take all the videos they want, and how do we? I have a meeting with my wingers and say, you know what? We're not moving. We're going backwards. We're letting him. We're not going at him. Let him be. I don't know what to tell you. It's a weapon. It is.
Let's let him go talk to you as we have an interview with Makar and Georgiev from the post game right here for you.
Cale, we'll start with you. last game you were able to take advantage of them on the power play. Today was the same thing. What is it that you're doing as a team that's not only allowing you to get in these situations, but when you get in these situations, you create separation and put the game away?
Yeah, I think for us right now, we're just working well as a 5-man unit. I think both power play units are doing a good job at puck possession, and then also finding ways to generate opportunities at the net, whether it's screen or just getting pucks there. So for us, I think it's just a cohesive unit right now, and we're just trying to find different ways to exploit them.
Corey?
Cale, could you describe what happened on your goal? And Alex, could you describe what you saw on Cale's goal?
I'll let Cale go.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a lucky one. I kind of was bobbling around the net, and then they got a couple sticks on it, and lucky enough to hit my shin pad or my pant, and our forwards had kind of pushed back their D pretty far. So for gap-wise, I just tried to carry it over the line, and then just tried to throw it at the net, so a little bit lucky.
Next, Megan.
Alexander, it's now back-to-back games where you've had to come up with big saves in the final seconds of the first period. Can you just tell me a little bit about focusing in those moments early in the game to help shape the course of it?
Yeah, just trying to play full 60, no matter when the shots are coming. Trying to be there and play the game right, and whenever it's needed, it just happened that they got a couple of good pushes at the end of the first and managed to make some good saves.
Bolding next.
For either of you, just thoughts on Val's game overall tonight and just how big it is to have him go in here 4 games with goals.
Yeah, I mean, he's been awesome for us. Obviously, he's a trained driving that front end right now. So whether it's being in front of the net or just being in the corners, I think, especially for us as a D-corps, we want to reward guys like that are going to the net. So try and get pucks there for them or put it in their hands so they can make plays. And that line right now in Val, he's playing really well. So I'm just trying to reward those guys.
Next, RF.
For you, Alex, obviously the offense is clicking, but on the defensive side, outside of game 2, I think Winnipeg had 30 shots in that game. Every other game has been below 30 that you've had to face. I guess how much has the team's defensive unit helped you?
Yeah, helps a lot when we're playing so well. Spending so much time in ozone, less chances for me to need to make that big save. So just staying sharp, and whenever the shots come, often it's you're sitting there waiting, and then they come up with a good opportunity. So you try to be sharp and be there.
Next spot.
Hey, Cale, just kind of piggyback off Ryan's question about Val a little bit. I mean, this is his 580th career NHL game and the first hat trick. I guess it's actually surprising a little bit that he hadn't had one before. And I guess when he's going like that, how hard is he to stop?
Yeah, that does surprise me. I thought he did have one before this, but so that's pretty cool. It was his first one, and no, like I said, when he's moving his legs, he's one of the best players in the league, and for us right now, being able to retrieve those pucks and then move it and make plays with it too is such a high end skill, and especially in the playoffs. So for Val, when he's using his body right and skating well, it's a pretty special player to watch. That's for sure.
Next, Kyle.
Alex, just one more follow-up on Val. On a personal level, wasn't an easy year for him, had to spend some time away from the team. How much support does he have in that room from you guys as teammates, and how rewarding is it to see him doing so well after that?
Yeah, I'm super happy for him. It feels like he's in good place right now. Everybody has been supporting him the whole time, just trying to get him back, and he's an incredible player, awesome guy. I'm really happy things are clicking for him. He always works so hard, and good to see him get rewarded.
3 more, Colleen, Evan, then Kisla.
Cale, coach said this morning that he's not going to feel better about this series until it's over. How do you guys not get comfortable and keep that momentum going, being up 3-1 now?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to the mentality of our team. I feel like we've been really good lately, just in working well, and then also just staying right in the moment and not looking too far ahead. So for us, again, it's the hardest game of the season when you got to end a team's year. So for us, we got to go into it with the same mindset and make sure that everybody's on the same page, because obviously they're going to give us everything they got.
Evan.
Cale, you made your NHL debut in the playoffs. Kovalenko played his first NHL game today. Do you kind of go back on that experience and talk to a young guy like that, or do you kind of stay away from him, or what's kind of your, I guess, technique there?
Yeah, no, I'm not filling him in about my experience really. I think for a guy like that, I think for me, especially, it was just kind of fun to experience the moment and just take it all in yourself. I don't think any of you guys kind of telling you what to do. So for him, it was awesome. I felt like he did some good things tonight, and hopefully maybe he'll be around more. We'll see. But yeah, at the end of the day, I felt like he had a really good first game. It's tough to come into the playoffs and do that. So I thought that line played well.
Last one, Kuzla.
Okay, I'm going to make another effort on your goal there. Well, I appreciate your humility when you get up ahead of steam and go coast to coast. Are you thinking the whole time, I hope I get lucky here, or what?
Not necessarily. I mean, you're not thinking about that in your head. I think for me, it's just in that instance, like I touched on, I think our forwards had pushed back their D so much, and I think my first option I was looking at was kind of kicking that out to, I think, Mikko on my right, and then once I saw that D backed off quite a bit, I just tried to throw it to the net, and I get it far side. Hopefully there was at least a rebound or something like that. So in my head, I don't think too much went into it, but yeah, fortunately.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Two dudes there that you could get in on fantasy with on Underdog Fantasy. If you picked Georgiev lower on saves because the Avs defense was so strong, if you picked Cale Makar higher on goals, it's a nice little two pick 'em fantasy right there. That could have done it for you.
He might be the first guy ever that can play 50+ minutes in a regular 60-minute game. I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
Tons of other options as well. If you had Nichushkin higher on goals, I guarantee you that one went tonight. So,
Yeah.
Tons of options with Underdog Fantasy. Get in on them. If you think you know hockey, if you think you know puck, make your picks on Underdog Fantasy. It doesn't just have to be Avs either. You can take a look at a slate of games like you have today. Pick your fantasy favorites. Pick your highers. Pick your lowers. Who's going to go off? Is it going to be a Makar night? Is it going to be an Adam Fox night? Is it going to be a Quinn Hughes night? Do it with Underdog Fantasy right now with their fantasy pick'em games. Of course, they have other games as well, like their draft system. You can do it with basketball too. You can put a Jokic triple-double in there with a Makar higher goal, whatever it might be. Go do it with Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today with promo code DNVR and get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special in your lobby. That's Underdog Fantasy code DNVR. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.npcgambling.org. Also brought to you by, would you guys say the Avs protected the house well tonight?
I bet Georgie would tell you that.
I bet he would. So make sure you're protecting your house with Volo Construction. Anything exterior of your house, roofs, gutters, siding, you name it, Volo Construction has you covered, and you can get a quote in under a minute when you give them a call or use that QR code on screen right now. Go get with Volo Construction and make sure your house is in proper order. Volo prides themselves on transparent communication and an honest assessment of your home's exterior. Again, call 303-578-8551 or use that QR code on screen to get your quote in under a minute. It'll be quicker than what happened quick tonight. I don't know, Connor Hellebuck's mental breaking. There you go. Go check out Volo Construction, for real though. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. This series has...
Oh, let's do these.
Oh, sure, yeah, good call.
Yikes.
Thank you once again, chat. You can get us the 300 likes though, right? You can do that for us for these Dr. Dubs winner shots. We'd appreciate it if you do.
Oh my gosh. Avs have been winning so much; those are going down smoother and smoother each time, man.
Getting used to it. I would say over this series.
Can I give you a number real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Just something I think is interesting because somebody in chat just mentioned it, and I forgot that I looked this up. You guys remember the 4-0 sweep of Nashville 2 years ago during the Cup run?
Indeed.
You know how many goals they scored in those 4 games?
Or the Avs?
The Avs.
Off the top of my head, no.
21. Whew. Against the Vezina winner through 4 games. After today, 22.
Not bad. Not bad.
That was a Nashville team with Big Save Dave that got pulled 7 minutes into the game one and never seen again.
Indeed.
And Connor Ingram the rest of the series. This is Connor Hellebuck.
Yep.
Now, he hasn't given up every goal, obviously, because there have been a couple of empty netters now.
Yeah, 3, I think, now. Yeah.
But 22 goals in 4 games.
Doesn't get much better than
Against, but we gave up the fewest goals in the league. Like, that was their whole shtick coming in. That was the whole thing. And the Avs, with Mikko Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon, like, on the score sheet every game,
Yep,
but
accurate.
not dominating. 22 goals in 4 games.
Wow.
Pretty good. Look, I think it's safe to say most of the games in this series have been close at one point or another.
Sure.
This game was 1-1 going in the second period.
This game definitely started 0-0.
Yeah, but 1-1, 9 minutes into the second period, whatever it was, when the Avs got that power play.
It really was close.
You have a game 2 that is, game 3 rather, that is 2-2 going into the third period, and you drop the hammer on them. Yet it feels like the Avs have dominated significant portions of this series.
The best that the Jets have played, in my opinion, from ignoring goal scored, just from how they have played the game, the quality of play from them was period 2 of game 3.
Yeah. Took a 2-1 lead and
end of list.
Yeah.
There is not one. There was the stretch, the last 5 minutes or so of the first period today.
Yeah, but 5 minutes doesn't get you much.
Ebbs and flows, baby. Yep. Ebbs and flows. If you aren't dominating in those 5 minutes and racking up goals, that 5 minutes just can't be it.
Yep.
And I know that there was a significant amount of unhappiness in Winnipeg about the officiating last game. It was stupid. I know that today there's probably going to be some more unhappiness. But here's the other side of it. And this is a thing that we talk about with the Avs all the time. They don't award goals in this league.
I mean, there are a few very specific scenarios where they do, if there's not a goalie in the net.
But they don't just hand you goals.
Correct. You have to go out and earn them still.
You have to score them. They have a special teams unit. They made a lineup change today specifically to boost their PK that just went 50%.
Yep. Also, I don't want to hear arguments about bad reffing because bad reffing goes both ways every time. Should the Jets have had a 5-on-3 in this game? Probably. Should they have called a high stick when Nathan McKinnon got high sticked in the face? Yes.
That 5-on-3 you're talking about, they shouldn't have been on the power play.
That first one's not a penalty.
To begin with.
It's not a penalty.
So it's like there's give and take with that stuff. Every point that you can make, there's a counterpoint to it. And the ultimate end game there is you are responsible for killing the penalty.
If you want to tell me the reffing was bad, yes, I agree.
Usually I will.
Yeah, right. If you want to tell me the reffing screwed your team, that's where I have a problem. Anyway, look, if you are Rick Bowness, Game 5, facing elimination, are you playing Brossoit?
No.
Going back to Hellebuck?
I'm sorry, but your organization just signed him to a monster deal.
They did?
He's going to win the Vezina for you. He is at the heart of your success as a team this year. Brossoit was great this season. He definitely was. But I'm sorry. He is my ride or die goaltender.
Okay.
He is my ride or die goaltender. I am not going to Laurent Brossoit and having Connor Hellebuck sit on the bench. I'm just not doing it.
All right.
That's just me. I won't do it.
I second that. You make a commitment like that for 8 years to a piece on your team, then you're going to live and die with them, especially at that position. Coach came to his defense today, of course. He has to say that, hey, it's not like he was weak. And he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he was weak, but he didn't make the save. So I'll use the same argument that I do. But the Avs are coming, and they're getting a lot of chances, and they have elite shooters. They have elite players. So that's why I always say, don't worry about the regular season. You know what I mean? Don't worry about the regular season. It's just not an even playing field. You don't know the situations of the roster you're icing that day. You don't know if today is playoffs. It's all in the same boat. And then right now, it hasn't been close as far as, like you said, goals for. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about elite, and they scored 4 in 3 games this year. 4 in 3 games in the regular season. So Bonus, I think, came to his defense. I think you see again Hellebuck next game, and I think it's the right decision to go back to your Vezina caliber guy.
And to circle back to tonight's game and your original point here, the Avs own the special teams battle tonight. They scored 2 power play goals. Their PK is a perfect 5 for 5. That's the difference.
And we talked during our series preview. They had to win the special teams.
Had to.
It wasn't if they win it, that makes their life easier. They had to win it.
Yep.
Because Winnipeg walked in with bad special teams.
Yep. They've dominated the special teams battle in this series. It hasn't been close. I think Winnipeg has 1 power play goal.
And it was the Kyle Connor
in game 1.
Yeah, the 6th or 7th goal of that game.
Yep.
Which shouldn't have mattered, but
it sort of did.
Yeah, it ended up being the game winner. P.S. The last time we've seen Kyle Connor.
He's not been good for them.
But you said it, the whatever you call that, the predictions, the series predictions. But
yeah.
Go back to our pregame today. Remember we said it like, hey, if you're new to our pregame and we talk about 3 keys all the time to the game, we said we're the rest of the playoffs. We're not talking about nothing to do with Georgiev. We're saying it's a must. It's an automatic that you have to win the special teams battle and you have to win the goaltending battle. Yep. So just on that, forget about the rest of the keys. Again, tonight, obviously they win the goaltending battle and then they win the special teams battle and go back to the last 3 games. It's been like that. They're the 2 most essential parts of winning in the playoffs. Forget about the rest. There's so many there's so many things. We all know that. But you're talking about specifically, if you win the goaltending battle and you win, and it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. You have to go and execute it. But the Avs have done that the last 3 games. That's why they've won 3 games in a row in tough circumstances, which is called the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I would also just like to mention deployment today was a little bit different. I like to talk about that chess match. What are these guys doing?
Yep.
I've talked a lot about Rick Bowness has wanted Adam Lowry on Nathan MacKinnon.
He didn't want that today.
Today he moves away from it and he goes with Mark Scheifele and Sean Monahan. Scheifele, it's okay. It's really low. It's like shockingly low event for top line on top line.
Yeah.
Which makes sense given the first period we watched the top line play.
That was bad.
And then against Monahan, MacKinnon does well. And in the little bit of time against Lowry, MacKinnon
was fine.
He beats him, but it's not by a ton.
Yep.
And you're talking about that's Colorado's top line not playing
all that good. Yeah.
Like a great game today. But then you get into the second line.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
You get into Casey Middlestat's line. Casey Middlestat, Arturi Lehkonen, Zach Parise. And
it's that bad?
When the offseason starts for the Jets, whenever that is, Mark Scheifele's going to be on vacation somewhere. And he's going to be in some cabana in Cabo, whatever, right? And he's just going to violently shake awake. Oh, God.
Casey Middlestat.
And it's just going to be visions of Casey Middlestat dominating him over and over and over and over and over.
I love it.
After games 1 and 2, I wanted to see how they would adjust, and I wanted Bednar to hard match Middlestat against Scheifele. That happened in game 3, and Middlestat erupted.
Yep.
Today, Rick Bowness was like, We're going to pull that back a little bit.
I'm scared.
We're going to pull it back a little bit. The Avs, because they were the home team, still got to pick that matchup, and Casey Middlestat head-to-head had 5 high-danger chances for with 1 against and a 7-4 scoring chance advantage.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and shots on goal were only 3-2, so it's not like one of those went in though.
Yep.
Which was the Lecky goal to start the game.
Yep.
And you're just talking. You're talking about your number 1 center is getting absolutely chewed up
by the number 2 guy,
by the second center on the other team. That is not a great feeling. And then Sean Monahan comes rolling out onto the ice. All right. Maybe things will go a little bit better with Sean Monahan. They went worse. They went worse. All right?
Tough out here.
All right. Maybe things will go better with Adam Lowry. Great. Nothing happened. They had a couple of minutes against each other. Nothing happened for either team. That is the best result against KC Middlestat in this hockey game.
That nothing happened.
Is an even draw.
Yep.
Occurred. Nothing happened. You are not going to win games unless you can generate offense. And
That's it.
as a team, the Winnipeg Jets today generated nothing. Nothing. We always talk, we get really into, we always advocate, look, you got to be careful with some of these numbers when games get 4-1, 5-1. And even in going into the third period today, 4-1 game going into the third period today at 5v5, the Winnipeg Jets generated one high danger chance.
One?
In a 4-1 game
Where the Avs weren't even trying to play offense anymore.
with their back up against the wall. With their back up against the wall. Going down 3-1 in the series is bad.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
It is bad. And down 4-1, their response was to generate one high danger chance.
Not great,
That
Bob.
was their desperation. Are they done? Are they beaten down? They can't. The discipline was out of control each of the last two games.
Yep.
As the moments got bigger in game, they got smaller as a team.
Agreed. This has very much been a series over the last two games of one team who's been there before and is about winning, and one team who is shying from the moment.
Yep.
I don't think it's that complicated.
It's well said.
So, on that note, if you are looking to get to an Avs or Nuggets playoff game, make sure you get your tickets through Game Time. Honestly, anything you want to go to. Maybe you're at the Rockies game down in Mexico City. Game Time has the tickets for you. When you sign up with code DNVR, you get $20 off.
Unless you're an Astros fan. I hope not.
Well, you know. $20 off with code DNVR at Game Time. Join 15 million people that get their tickets this way. Game Time guarantees you the best ticket price. They're so confident if you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, they'll reimburse you 110% of the ticket price into your account. So go get with them. Go get seats. They show you pictures of everything. Doesn't really matter for Ball Arena because all the seats are great, but there are buildings that do have some bad seats. They will show you what it will look like from your seats so you don't get any bad ones. Go get with Game Time today. There's a link down in the description to download their app, and be sure to use that DNVR code. And then it's also brought to you by us. It's a great time to become a DNVR diehard. All these shirts y'all want, you get one for free with a DNVR diehard membership. And then when we release new ones, you get a discount on shirts going forward as a diehard. You also get access to our Discord. You get access to exclusive content. I just released a piece about Cal Ritchie, talked to the Avs player development staff about him. It's pretty cool.
It's a great piece, guys. Like, for our diehard people, please go read it. I know that the focus is on the Avs.
Cal Ritchie's conference finals just started.
Right. Cal Ritchie is their top prospect, and he's having a big-time year.
Yep. Go check that out. You also get discounts here at the bar if you become a diehard, so it's a great thing. And, you know, I don't want to toot our own horn, but also becoming a diehard helps support us do what we do. So,
also, all the people who are diehards and just had codes renew and have been saving the shirt code.
Yep.
I know a handful of them just redeemed that thing on the Nichushkin shirt today.
Gonna go fast.
Yep. I know a bunch of people that have already messaged me and were like, this is what I was waiting for.
There it is.
Awesome.
So, go jump on it. Go support us. We'd appreciate it a ton if you become a diehard. Let's get into some of those super chats. Super chats.
Trooper?
$20 from Greg, who says, gotta run home. I have to watch the pod later. Great game, fam. And that makes 3 of 16.
Still
Math
sounds
checks
right.
out.
I'm just
It's a
trying to get to
lot.
4, brother.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to get to 4, my man. That's the
4 at a time.
Yeah,
One
that's
at a time, to be honest.
Yeah, 1 at a time and 4 game segments.
Yep, exactly right.
We always talk during the regular season. Best of 7 segments.
Yep.
Get to 4 first.
Yep.
Let's do it.
$5 from Kyle, who says, so happy for Nichushkin and hats off to Georgiev. Well, I think the hats off were for Nichushkin, right? I was a hater, but he has absolutely turned around and looked amazing. Yep. Well said. $5 from the Walrus, who says, nothing funny to say about farts today, but glad to see Nuke get a Hattie and doing well on the right side of life. Hashtag Rudo Boobies tarps off.
Yeah.
Thank you. $10 from Willie, who says, Avs got SAMs.
SA.
Well played.
Sense? I can't read.
Okay. $10 from Chad. Pair character bowing down, saying thank you. It's the best I got.
The super sticker bit has been going on for so
Yeah.
long. I don't even know how many people who watch the pod anymore
Even know
why
yeah.
it happens.
$14 from the Incredible Drew. Winnipeg media blaming the refs again when they legit gave you an offside goal. More salt in this city than the ocean. Also loving mitts more each game, but that next contract is going to be no joke.
Contract was always going to be $5 or $6 million.
Yeah.
I don't think it's changed.
No, I agree. And look, that's what you have to pay to solve your 2C problem. That's just the reality.
It won't surprise them. They did the homework before they made the trade. So
that would also be cheap,
honestly.
On the like high like
you're not paying a $7-8 million
high quality 2C.
They've already talked to the agent. They've already done the forecast. They've already. It's all good.
They have a concept already.
Yep. Yes.
Plus, if need be, you don't want to, but if need be, you can always do arbitration stuff.
Yep.
So
Sure.
$5 from Luke, who says, Winnipeg is smelling a bit better today. One more to go. See you Game 5. Party with you June 27th to 30th.
Deal.
I like the confidence.
I think the 27th is draft day, right? So
Sounds right.
So I think we'll be in Vegas partying at the Sphere.
I'm in.
While the Avs make the 32nd pick, and
hey,
our analysis is who gives a shit.
Pick anyone.
And then they'll pick him, and then we'll actually talk
and the
about
Colorado
it.
Avalanche pick the Stanley Cup. $7 from the Incredible Drew. Again, another super chat. Just got a bit lucky on the goal. How can anyone legit not love Cale unless they are salty Hughes fans? I mean, no offense to Quinn, but come on.
Yeah, so the puck pops up and it hits him in his body, and then he moves
way
it forward.
pretty well there. Yeah,
that's 50-50 bounces happen 6,000 times a game
Yep.
in hockey, but the rest of that is Cale.
Yep.
That's the rest of that is him embarrassing everybody else on the ice. So
Nets.
sure, if that's what's helping him sleep at night is he got a little bit of a bounce that went his way. What about the rest of it?
He's ridiculous.
He is. There's words can't express how good he
It's
is.
just girl please energy.
$2 from DJ, who says, why Connor broken? Hashtag tarps off.
My question would be, which one? Kyle Connor or Connor Hellebuck?
Oh,
Those are two really important players for the Jets, and
Answer yes.
the answer yes.
And then 2 more from DJ, who says, also, that was offside. Puck always hit Georgie.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have the sets have it now.
We haven't really talked about it. How'd you guys feel about it?
the offside?
Yeah.
I can't. I'll say what I said on the show. I'm assuming Toronto has an angle there where it's legit. Why are you, as a multi-billion-dollar organization, why do you have cameras that have 4 pixels?
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to do this, if we're going to have rules where you break it down to the millimeter, give me a camera where you can see the millimeter.
Don't give me a 240p camera.
Yeah.
And then say, I need you to see from a distance where this puck is relative to that guy's skate. That's the frustration. I thought it was onside. I didn't have a huge problem with it. It's super, super close. It's about as close as you can get on an offside challenge, honestly. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And then, you know what the Avs did? You know what the Avs did that is apparently earth-shattering to Winnipeg is they killed a penalty.
And it affected them for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, it affected them a little bit. Their game, I'm talking about. But they killed the penalty. They didn't sulk on it. They didn't make a big deal. They just went to work. End of story, turn the page.
Well,
and that's why we're not talking about it much right now after the game, right?
Yeah. One penalty didn't turn into 3, didn't turn into 4,
Exactly.
didn't turn into an onslaught.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset.
Yeah. It's not an undisciplined mess.
Nope.
And then we have one extremely large super chat from James. Once again, another $50. You're ridiculous, James. I guess we didn't need a nudo for the win. Just needed the Jets to be grounded like tonight. Hashtag 737 Max Doors off. Doors off. Got it.
Fun.
Thank you very much, James.
We want those doors to stay on.
And then a late super chat, $5 from Really, saying service to air missiles. Yeah, yeah,
Sam's.
that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, because they're jets. Aha.
Got it.
All makes sense.
Now I feel dumb. We were looking at that Sam's like, what is this? This makes all the sense in the
Couldn't
world.
get to that one, but thank you for making it clear to us. I'm about done, unless you guys have anything you want to add.
I don't think so, man.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
we'll be live Monday at 2
We'll
p.m.
talk about tomorrow, but it's all about the mindset now. It's all about a mindset because now you have two teams, equal playing fields, but two different mindsets. You got one that's against the wall, and then you got one that's trying to close.
The hardest one to
that'll
win
be-
is the one that eliminates
So we can
them,
talk
right? So-
a shit ton about it tomorrow.
All right, we are going to wrap this one up. We will have Jared Bednar's full presser on our YouTube channel. If you want to go watch that, go check it out.
Just the random Canadians that come in here after these games and are like, Americans are idiots. And it's like,
really?
All right, man.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's always entertaining. It gets me every time.
We're out of here. We appreciate y'all. We'll be live tomorrow for an Avalanche off day. Come join us for that pod. We'll see you then.
We all silly like the mayor.